What's up, BoobTube? Josh here today, and we're gonna work on the C10 some more. Trying to get this project done so that I can move on to other things. But yeah, so went to fill up the radiator earlier this week with coolant, and it decided to pee all over the floor. So now I get to change what I thought was a good water pump out and do that. And then I'm also going to hook up the transmission link and get that all sorted as well. So let me get you turned around and we'll get started on this. Alright, so I've pretty much got everything started on getting removed. I gotta get this upper hose off, and I've got my heater hoses undone. I just gotta pull them off, and then it's the, I don't know, 10 or so, I think they're 10 mil bolts. They might be 8s. I think they're 10s though. Here's an 8. Yeah, so they're 10s. Gotta get all them 10s off and get all this swapped over onto my new water pump from Rock Auto that I haven't even opened yet. So let me get that opened, and then we'll also talk about this bad boy. I had some stuff come up on it that I'm not really impressed with, but it'll be in the part 2 video of talking about this, but I'll go ahead and touch on it a little bit. Can't fit AN fittings on these, and the way these are made, either you cut them off and put in new fittings, or you just deal with it and run barbs, which is what I'm going to do because I don't feel like cutting them off and dealing with having to do all that. So that's a whole nother hot topic. Like, as you can see, I even ground down the fitting that converts it. The issue with it is even with it on there, you can't get the AN fitting onto the converter, so oh well. Alright, let me get this opened up and get some parts taken off the truck and get ready to rock and roll on that. Alright, so it's only 6 10 mil bolts. See if you can hear this, and you'll see why it's not any good anymore. I mean, it doesn't sound all that great, but I don't know why it gave out. So I'm gonna throw the new one in, which is nice and shiny and looks brand new, of course. And when I come back, should be all installed, and we'll go back to filling up the coolant system, and hopefully it doesn't leak again. But anyways, oh, and obviously I replaced these bad boys, and they don't look to be the culprit, so I'm still gonna throw the new ones on that came with the new water pump instead of reusing those. But yeah, so we'll see. Hopefully I don't have any more issues with it. All right, here we go. All right, so she's back on there. The trick to getting it on there is, stick 2 bolts through it so that it holds the gasket, and rest it up there and slightly thread it on there, and then it's run them down with the impact and give them a couple ugga duggas and then snug. Not a big impact, a little impact. So now I gotta convert. I gotta grab the idler pulley, the tensioner pulley, I guess is actually what it is, and put it on and button everything back up, and then we will be putting the belt and coolant on. So let's go ahead and grab a bolt for these bad boys, which I think are 15s maybe. Grab a 15 and a 17. I'm not sure which one it is, but we're fixing to find out. and run them off with the 15s. All right, run them off with the impact because I know they're probably gonna be pretty tight. All right. Boom. Easy peasy. All right, let's throw these bad boys. Throw this bad boy onto the motor. See if I can do this one-handed. Nah. Before I lose a couple bolts down in the water that's leaked out from changing this thing out. Let's drop a couple and then get one started. There we go. Get the other one started. Which goes there. And then you get the last one started. Which one is right there. And boom. Let me get my, use this bad boy since the 1/2-inch big boy won't fit, so I need a 15. That's a 15. And run these bad boys on. Turn or 1/8 of a turn just to snug them. Snug. Good to go. All right. So now I'm gonna throw this bad boy back on there and everything and get it all ready to go. So this has got a gasket on it. I wonder if the gasket will still work or if I need to run the paper one. Anyways. That should be fine. So throw the 2 heater core hoses back on, throw that back on, throw a belt on it, and then should be good to go. I'll start filling it up after that point. All right, after quite a bit of fighting, finally got it filled up as much as I can get it without the truck running because it's not gonna purge the heater core in the cab. So everything is as full as it's gonna get. I actually had to stick a small hose here, turn it up, and pour into that because couldn't pour through the radiator because it didn't breathe fast enough. It burbled and took forever. So did that. So it's as full as it's gonna get. Now it's time to put the belt on, which is pretty easy. I don't think I need to show a video of that. Next, I'm gonna take the throttle body off, and I'm gonna work on pulling this out and threading the hole for the inlet air temp sensor. So I'm gonna pull this off, that way I can vacuum out all the crap from drilling this and tapping this and be good to go. All right, I'm gonna get this pulled off, and the next time we come back, we'll be getting ready to drill and tap that. All right, so there's the throttle body off. I'm actually gonna shove a paper towel in there, that way it doesn't fall into the intake, and I can just pull it out and it should pull all the shavings out for it. So it says that I need a 37/64. I don't have that, so 1/2 inch it is, and we're just gonna slowly thread this out. There we go. That should be good. And then run the 3/8 bit through it. I don't know if I can get this thing off without having 2 hands. Nope, doesn't look like it. Sit y'all down for a second. All right, so I got it all drilled out, and I ended up breaking the deg burn end on the sensor trying to stick it in. So I got to order another one from Low Dollar Motorsports. That's a thing. That sucks, but it's not going to hold me up on other things that I need to get done. Like I'm going to do the linkage for the transmission here in a little bit, and jack up the rear end and see what kind of gear I have in it, because I have no idea. And hopefully it's not something stupid tall where I'm gonna have to go and replace the lift. But anyways, let me get the belt thrown on, since I haven't really got it on yet, and I'll start working on the shift linkage, so that that's all done and I can test it. Here we go. All right, boob tube. So I couldn't count the gears right in the rear end, so I ended up taking the cover off. And there's a nice stamp on the ring gear, and it usually tells you what your gear is. Let's see if I can show it to you here. So you see right here, it says 14:43. So you take the 43 and divide it by 14, and that gives you what your gearing is. And this is a 307, which means I will probably end up having to swap this bad boy out with something a little bit less highway friendly. But for now, we're gonna run it, and it'll probably do no telling how fast. But now that I know what the rear gear is in it, I can finish setting up my Terminator initial setup. So along with that, I didn't film any. Let me get out from underneath the truck here. I didn't film any of the building the linkage for the truck, because it was a lot of me standing up and sitting down, standing up and sitting down, and I broke one of the sensors that I was trying to install in the intake, so I had to order another sensor, but it's neither here nor there. So there's the linkage all installed, and it goes from park to drive fine, but I don't have 3-2-1, because the linkage, to get it to line up with park, neutral, drive, all that stuff correctly, I can't use 3-2-1. I can set it up to use all of them, but then none of the hashes line up on the shifter. So I'm pretty sure I'll have 3, but I won't have 2 or 1. But I shouldn't need those anyways, because I'm gonna just stick it in drive and go. So, but anyways, guys, I'm gonna leave the there's my nice big expansion thing that I had to stick in, because welded it all up and it didn't quite line up. It had worked from all the welding, so used that as a means of getting everything to line back up. But anyways, guys, until next time, deuces.